Want to waste no time and bring in Communications Director for the Governor, Mike Steele. So, Mike, we have him on the phone. We kind of want to ask you, first off, kind of what are the resources you guys are deploying, rescues, and you're trying to help the community. What really resources are you using and what's needed?
Well, we had a situation where this rain event actually started a few days ago, but the most severe weather started very early this morning in most areas. So we had a situation where early this morning there started to be requests coming in from the local level for things like high water vehicles. There were requests for boats from our Wildlife and Fisheries Agency to help with those type operations. And now we're getting a tremendous amount of requests for our sandbags. Earlier around noon, that total was probably around 50,000. Now we have requests, and we're filling orders for over 200,000 sandbags to be delivered to some of the problem areas.
Now, can you just walk us through where some of the hardest hit areas are, and what are we seeing in those areas that are hardest hit?
Well, unfortunately, some of the areas being hit hardest, at least early this morning, were some of the same areas that we saw impacted by the flooding back in March. That would be areas like Tangipahoa and St. Helena parishes. They're kind of east of Baton Rouge and north of New Orleans. Kind of, if you're familiar with Louisiana, it's kind of the North Shore area, north of Lake Pontchartrain. So that area was impacted pretty hard. We've also had a lot of problems in the Baton Rouge area, all the way down through the river parishes, and even now more towards Lafayette, the Acadiana area of the state, over in the southwest corner of the state.
All right, so for those hard-hit areas, we've heard about evacuations. Are there, are you guys planning to set up shelters? Are there shelters set up? Where can the community go to get resources that they may need?
Yeah, this information I have is probably outdated at this point. That's how fast things are changing. But so far, we've gotten a request in to help with 11 different shelter sites across the state, and that's in 8 different parishes. We have the parishes here instead of counties. So it's pretty much across the state right now. Some parishes are beginning to set up shelter operations in anticipation of the system kind of moving west and north of the Baton Rouge area. So that's kind of where we're at that point. We've also had requests come in for things like MREs. We sent hundreds of MREs out to different areas and cots for some of the shelter operations. And then again, that push for sandbags is in addition to the sandbags that many of the parishes made available all across the state, kind of in anticipation of this event.
And Mike, what is one of the most important things folks watching us from this area need to know, especially in terms of roadways?
Well, what we saw back in the spring was the roadways usually present the biggest threat. A lot of times you have people that are out sightseeing or taking chances that they shouldn't take. We have some parishes reporting that people are they're beginning to get out and sightsee, and they're actually pushing more water into certain homes that have been flooded because of the vehicle traffic, in front of the homes. So we're asking that everyone pretty much stay indoors all day today if you can. We could be dealing with this situation for at least the next couple of days, but there's also rain forecast, at least in Baton Rouge, all the way through next week. So, this situation may not end quickly, and, trying to keep people safe on the roadways is the biggest concern right now.
All right, Mike, thank you so much for being with us. This is great information. We're going to continue to cover this situation as well, and we'll let you get back to work. I know you've got a lot to be doing.